Hi, welcome back. In today's video, I'll introduce the Narwal T10, the world's first self-cleaning robot mop and vacuum, or so the manufacturer claims. So I've spent the past few days testing it to see if these claims are valid. I'll reveal both the good and bad, and there's a lot to unpack, so let's get started. Full disclosure, Narwal sent me this product for free to test, but I base my findings on test results to be subjective. As you've seen in all my reviews, I disclose both sides to provide users a bird's eye view of what to expect. One issue with traditional robot vacuum/mop hybrids is the need to wash the mopping cloth after every cleaning cycle. Narwal aims to take this out of the equation with its uniquely designed base station that washes and dries the pad for you, and I'll disclose later on how effective it is. Inside the base station are two water tanks for storing clean and dirty water separately. A tray at the bottom with a textured surface provides agitation to dislodge dirty residue as the pads spin against it. These holes in strategic areas drain dirty water, which is then pumped out to the dirty water tank. Not only will it clean the pad and flush out dirty water, but the base station also does other tasks, one of which is priming the two pads prior to the mopping cycle. The robot itself doesn't have a water tank, but it relies on the station to saturate the two pads before heading out. The base station is huge, bigger than the Roomba S9 and i6's base station that I put on either side for reference. I guess Narwal had to make it this big to fit in the clean and dirty water tank. However, even with a huge footprint, it doesn't have a self-emptying feature, which affects its usability somewhat if you want to use it as a robot vacuum. Each tank has a capacity of 1.3 gallons. In my small home, I would estimate refills to be once a week, but your mileage may vary depending on your home size and usage frequency. Sensors are in place to notify you if the clean water tank is empty or if you need to dispose of dirty water. Please note that this robot will not vacuum and mop simultaneously as it does each task independently. One advantage of this is there's little risk of water seeping through the motor since it is shut off, which enables this robot to mop even wet spills. There are separate attachments for the vacuum and mop function. There's a bracket with two side brushes for vacuuming, but it lacks a motorized brush, so it won't clean carpets as well. Two triangular shaped brackets are included for mopping along with 4 pads. A Velcro padding secures these pads so it's easy to attach. These magnetized pins underneath make switching between mopping and vacuuming configurations easy. Narwal uses LiDAR as its primary navigational sensor, so it's efficient and traverses in straight lines. The app provides users the option to adjust the number of runs between 1 and 3 times, likewise with the mopping cycle, providing some level of flexibility and thoroughness. What distinguishes Narwal from a traditional robot vacuum and mop hybrid is its pad placement, which is in front unlike other brands that have it at the rear. Moving into this location does several things. First, it enables it to mop even wet messes, which isn't possible with other brands since you'll have to clean this area under the main brush. The front-mounted pads cover most of the front, so there will be no residue buildup in this area, which brings me to my second point. It expands the cleaning pad to the width of the robot, around 14 inches, wider than any robot vacuum and mop I've tested so far. Unlike traditional robot mops that drag a wet pad, this robot has 2 counter-rotating pads that provide efficient agitation and the most efficient so far at cleaning sugary stains like grape and tomato juice. When I say effective, I mean, it didn't leave any sticky residue. One reason is it docks after each pass, so stain fragments on the pad are cleaned and don't get dragged on the surface. Lastly, it prevents the robot from stalling, which was the case with the Roborock S5 Max and S7 mopping sticky stains. I'd say it's much better than the other two robots I've mentioned in this aspect. This isn't a surprise for me, as its design is biased towards mopping instead of the vacuum-centric design of other brands. But there's a limit to its effectiveness. It may struggle with large stains as it did when I tried it on this big mess. It's most effective at mopping non-sugary stains like red wine. You can see in this clip that it cleaned all of it after one pass. You'll notice a tiny gap between the two pads, which may result in some missed spots when combined with the wider turns. This is an area of improvement that Narwal should look into going forward. Another downside with the T10 is it won't avoid carpets or rugs on its own. It lacks a carpet sensor that the Roborock S7 has that shade these areas. So you'll have to approximate where to draw off-limit zones. Not a deal breaker by any means, but given its high cost, I would have hoped Narwal put in something similar. How effective is a self-cleaning feature? I'll let you decide. Here's how the pads look like after the mopping tests. It wasn't totally clean as you can still see residue on the pads. But the good news is it isn't sticky. The base station did its job at removing sticky remnants, but you'll still have to wash the pads manually. The pads won't be as dirty after mopping tasks. But it's not totally hands-free, as you'll need to clean buildup on the tray and wipe excess water on this area where the robot docks. Cleaning performance is decent but not great. The lack of a brush roll hampers its pickup on carpet. I tried different types of debris, but it lacked agitation to be relied upon solely for cleaning this surface. Passes weren't as clean, and it left dirt even after multiple runs. It only picked up 26.3% of sand in deep cleaning tests, which is a direct result of not having a brush roll. On hard floors it did much better, but the twin side brushes will scatter larger piles of debris, which shouldn't be an issue for daily cleaning tasks involving dust or hair. Cleaning sand on hard floors is decent as well, with a 95.5% average. Debris pickup wasn't an issue, but the side brush scattering sand is. The results of the coverage test tells it all. While it picked up most of the debris, it needed all 3 passes to do so, and it didn't pick up everything. You can see the side brush scattering issue at play in this experiment. The narrow cleaning path is another issue, and the lack of a roller. So it's a notch below other brands with a brush roll. My main concern using this in its vacuum configuration is the practicality aspect. Since it doesn't have a self-emptying feature, you'll have to pull the robot out after it docks. The top-mounted 0.4 liter dustbin isn't large and needs to be emptied more frequently. It has a washable HEPA filter, and I like that you can remove this thin mesh filter so it's easier to give it a thorough clean. This robot isn't noisy, maxing out at 63 decibels in vacuum mode, and it's quiet in its mopping configuration, not even cracking 50 decibels. Max runtime is around 3 hours or 180 minutes, thanks to the 5200 mAh lithium-ion battery. Narwal says it has a fast charging system and will take around 3 hours to fully charge. To get the most out of this robot, you'll need to download the app using the QR code here. Right now, it's the only way to do so, as searching for Narwal will yield these results. Users can control the number of passes for both the mopping and vacuuming runs, which is a must-have in my opinion. Selective room cleaning is available, so you can pinpoint which areas on the map you want vacuumed or mopped. However, it lacks a custom room naming feature, and you're limited only to these options. It also has an off-limits tab that lets users draw no sweep, no mop, or no sweep and mop zones. However, it lacks the invisible wall feature, which limits the areas you can block to squares or rectangles. Another feature I didn't like is it can only save one map. I guess the massive size of the base station will discourage you from moving this around, but I'd prefer that option to save more maps. It has a mapping feature similar to the one found in the Roomba i6 or S9, where it explores the area for the sole purpose of drawing the map. But you'll have to open doors and remove any obstacles to maximize this feature. Also, mapping will be a requirement because this robot will not run without a map saved. To conclude this review, the Narwal T10 is really good at mopping floors, perhaps the best robot I've tested for such. I've been using it extensively to mop the living and dining area in our home, and the results were mostly positive. Not having to constantly refill the tanks or clean the pads is a huge plus. The option to open the tops of the water tanks is another plus point for usability, as it makes it very easy to clean, especially the dirty water tank. The self-cleaning feature helps, but it won't totally clean the pads, so it isn't a hands-free user experience. While vacuuming is decent on hard floors, it isn't as good on carpet and shouldn't be the primary reason why you buy this product. This robot is designed specifically to mop, and the vacuuming function is secondary. 3 factors may give you pause buying this. First is the cost. It will be more expensive than the Roomba S9 Plus, but it does have the 2-in-1 functionality, but the price is still extravagant. Next is the massive size. Not an issue for a medium or large home, but it can be for a small apartment. Lastly is the availability of parts. Since Narwal is a new player in this niche, only time will tell how good the after-sales service is and the availability of parts.